Today's Tanya teaches us something very important, and that is that we're discussing how everything in this world is energy. In fact, one of the greatest scientific discoveries is E equals M. Energy is matter. So matter is energy. Now, there are three types of energies that literally create matter. Obviously, everything begins in God, but it can go through what we would call a klippa, a concealment. So the lowest concealment are things that are not kosher, meaning they go against God's will. Then there's a medium concealment, which is like things that have a possibility of being elevated. But something that isn't kosher, for example, if a person eats non-kosher food, then what happens is, obviously only a Jew. For a Gentile, they have to not eat the limb of a living animal. We have to be humane. I mean, what they do to crabs is disgusting. You can't just boil a living thing alive. If a person is going to eat something, they have to kill it in a humane way, and then they can eat it. But be that as it may, the Jewish laws of kosher, of course, are very detailed. And so for a Jew, the will of God for him or for her is to eat in a certain way. And if they eat something that's not kosher, that creates a stain on the soul. And that stain can only be eradicated in the times of Mashiach, when it says Yibula Hamavas Lanetzach, when darkness will go forever, or if I'm not mistaken, after a person passes away, there are punishments that can take away that stain. However, there's an interesting kind of caveat to that, and that is that if a person does tshuva me'ava, in other words, if a person ate non-kosher food and then says, God, that was a mistake, I'm not going to do it again, then if they do it out of fear, then the stains kind of remains. But if they do it out of love, in other words, they said, wow, I'm distant from God and I really want to be close. So it's like a rubber band. The further you pull back is the further you're going to go forward. And so then this very, very sin actually became a mitzvah. It's similar to a story I once heard from my father that a Tzemach Tzedek once told a Jew. He said, I'm jealous of you. So he said, why are you jealous of me? He said, well, you did so many sins. If you do repent, they'll all turn into mitzvahs. So he said, oh, Rabbi, just wait a little longer. You'll be more jealous. He said, no, a little longer might be too late. But the point is that as soon as we come to God, there's no such thing as evil anymore. Everything that we did that was bad, at least between man and God, between man and man, you have to get atonement from man. But everything that we did disappears. It all becomes part of the blessing.